Hello, welcome back, everyone, to session 62 of our Pathfinder Second Edition campaign.
Woohoo!
How's everyone doing? Woo.
Doing
Good. Yeah,
Raring to go.
raring to go. So, in that case, if everyone's ready, last we left off, the party had arrived in the city of Lunarion, where they had gone to visit Cadell, in hopes of helping Hynera with her poison, with being poisoned by the Kyadar, for a whole bunch of different reasons. We don't need to go over. And Cadell told you all that actually there is no current cure for it. It requires the plant that the poison was made from, which happens to have gone extinct a long time ago. So, in his grand plan, he suggested that visiting a wizard that you all came to know as Gideon, who has had a thing called a time stone, which can allow you to go back in time, presumably to the Age of Gods, where you could gather this cure and then cure Hynera and hopefully come back and then carry on with the rest of your missions. However, when you visited Gideon, he sort of explained to you that he's almost been a bit paranoid recently, and he's locked himself away in his tower because all of his friends, the rest of the Clive Five, have gone missing. Clearly, it's almost like they have been sort of removed from the world one by one. And as you spoke to Gideon, you accidentally let through what seems to be forces of Neruzatar's power, who attacked you, and Gideon demanded you run with the time stone and get out of there. Clearly, that's what they were going for, and you don't know what happened to him. But Cadell, using the time stone, got you all in the circle and vanished you away. And you watched as Gideon's tower disappeared, and the world almost is being rolled back like a clock, until you appear with a flash of light in a floating city surrounded by... Let me just change the music. Hang on. Yeah, a floating city filled what seems to be with elven creatures, filling the main city streets. You've arrived on just a sort of a corner alley, just off in the distance. With all of you seem to have appeared, except for, you notice Cadell isn't around. You see these sort of like glass domes and sort of tall glass buildings with metal supports, and a sort of almost like a sort of roof over the top of the whole place, keeping the elements outside away from the main city. These kind of like glowing lanterns on stilts sort of like line the main city streets. Almost immediately, Vance appears, and he says, "Quick, let me disguise you." With a wave of his hand, you all one by one turn into almost like quite similar looking versions of yourselves, but in an elf form. You can take whatever appearance from that you wish.
I'm just me.
Yeah, you're just you in your normal disguise. And Hynera obviously remains unchanged.
Are our clothes the same?
Your clothes are similar. Like maybe they've been slightly altered to reflect the fashion of the area. Vance says, "Well, first things first. I'll work out where the hell we are. I didn't feel anything there with the time stone. I don't know how we controlled it. Hopefully Cadell did, but he doesn't seem to be here anymore."
Which is great. I hope you remember what this plant looks like, because we have no fucking clue.
The first thing that sort of strikes you is the freshness, I guess, of the air. There seems to be almost no like manure smell. There's like no farming kind of like it's almost a very pristine, pure air. There's no pollution at all. looking up at the sky, there's like a sort of a very sunny day, like a cloudy blue sky, sort of light shining onto the alleys below. You see a few people on the main streets, but I mean, it's very difficult to tell where you are or even what year you're in.
Is it quite urban?
Yes, it seems to be maybe like the interior of a city. But you see down one side, as you look out the alleyway, you look down one way, sort of southwards, and you notice that it opens up into a large park, almost, with rivers and streams and bits of greenery. Let me give you maybe a bit of an example of what you're looking at. Hang on, let me just.
I don't know any.
It's cool. I've got it.
Oh, I see. So there's lots of domes rather than one big dome over the top.
Yeah, and that's sort of facing one way, and then as you face the other way, you notice that it seems to be almost that the city is very high up in the air, and some of the streams seem to be going off the side, almost as if the city is floating in the sky. But it's very difficult to tell otherwise.
We're flying. We're flying. We're in a big flying city. Okay.
Are floating cities a thing?
They're not in the current timeline, really. Obviously, the famous city of the Dragonborn, were the last city to fly, basically. But in the Age of Gods, they're very common. And Vance says it was actually the norm rather than the exemption in the Age of Gods.
What keeps them up?
It's difficult to explain. Arcane magic, large engines.
That wasn't difficult to explain at all, actually.
Well, yes, fair enough. He says he looks around and says, "I don't for the life of me know where we are."
What about like the? What about the architecture or the? Is there any iconography or symbols that you recognize?
He looks around and he just looks a bit confused, as if he just to look over to you and says, "You know, it was what? How long ago was this? 10,000 years ago? My memory isn't that great." Nyx appears. She says, "You might not recognize it, but I do."
Then where are we?
This is the city of Airsgard.
Can you put that in the chat, please?
Okay. Was there anything special about the city, or is this just one of your normal floating cities? God, that feels weird to say.
She says, "It was the city I grew up in."
Okay. So you should
Van-
probably stay invisible then.
Yeah, Vance says, "Oh well, now we know who's influenced our travels. I could have thought that this had nothing to do with me." So this is where you grew up next. Yeah, were you saying something, Henry?
Yeah, does that mean that Nyx will know we need to go? No, because I wasn't with us.
She says, yes, I mean, it looks not that different to when I last saw it.
Oh.
The whisper route, the silent route should be in the palace gardens.
Let's go.
We can...
Hang on.
Well, yeah,
Sorry.
go on. Yeah, go on.
This whisper root. This was
Silent.
a poison that silent root. This was a poison that was around during time when elves were immortal, right?
Yes.
So the idea is it can kill immortal elves.
It is one of the things that can kill immortal elves, yes. Nyx says.
I think we should take more than just the sample for Hinera. If we've got to deal with Kaidos and Ignis, and if they've found a true way to become immortal, we might need this.
I like it. Deceitful. Poison is always a good choice of weapon.
That, and we also don't know what else can kill an immortal elf. Well, maybe these two do, but we don't. Well,
Vance says. Vance just interjects a second and says, "I hope you're all aware that also, without Cadell, we don't know where the time stone is either. Do any of you have it?"
I will check my belongings.
Yeah, same.
You don't have. None of you have it in your belongings. Vance says, "Do you think Cadell using the time stone might have sent him somewhere else and us here?"
Perhaps
Maybe-
or we should be in a bubble, no? If we do not have the time stone, then are we not in a bubble?
I don't know. I don't know if the
May-
time stone's protections will help us.
Maybe I should try the flute. Maybe that'll get us a basic idea of where he is.
Alright.
I'm gonna have a go on the flute.
You don't
Okay.
otherwise.
You play the flute. Calling what would normally call Cadell, or at least have some recognition of his arrival or his listening to you. Unfortunately, there's nothing. It's completely silent. Even the flute kind of almost sounds like it's devoid of air. Yeah, there's no response.
We could just find this plant, and then we'll focus on Cadell. Okay? I feel like that would be the best idea.
We also don't know what to do with the plant.
I was just gonna eat it.
I don't think that's how that works
Right.
at all.
Well, we can just get a few, right?
It's Cadell who had the instructions for it. Vance says.
Near is right. We should get the plant first and worry about Cadell after. We should also not talk to anyone.
Do we only have 24 hours here, or is it? Do we
It's-
need
it
the
was-
time to get back?
It was supposed to be a week with the time stone, but you don't know without the time
Okay.
stone.
Okay.
Maybe as we're walking somewhere, just kind of wandering maybe to the park or something. But Nix, does this city have anything to do with Nivolas?
Yes. It's was the beginning of the revolution against the gods from the immortal elves.
This city.
Started here, yes. My father. Vance says, yes, well, that was the first time I began to question Fendaren's judgment myself. His
Did
response.
Fandaren live here?
No, Nick says. What? It's hard to explain. My father, he made a stupid mistake, and it caused a war, which separated me from him.
What
I-
kind of mistake?
As you say that, there's bells ringing in the courtyard near the main palace walls, and you see a large crowd beginning to gather. Nick says, a mistake I hoped I would never see again. Vance is like looking and just seeing as people start to gather on the main high street. Do you want to go have a look?
Yeah.
Nobody. Yeah, maybe we should avoid talking to people.
Just keep your head down. Who knows what crazy things might change the timeline? Vance says as he sort of swaggers off.
Easy for him. He is incorporeal.
So the huge crowd, you push kind of further down the street, past tall glass towers and lush green gardens fed with aquifers and various like water transportation systems. You begin to hear the sounds of trumpets coming from the main palace entrance. A huge crowd kind of cheering as a flying vehicle appears and transports itself through the city's force field roof. It almost looks like a carriage. It lands on the courtyard of the huge marble and gold palace. And Nick says to you all as you're just watching, this was my family home. It's going to be hard to get in there. Which means also my family must be near, if this is when I think it is.
Do you like your family? Like, you get on?
I haven't seen them in 15,000 years.
But they will have seen you recently.
Probably not in this form.
Yeah,
Definitely
well,
not in this form.
that's what I was thinking. Maybe you should, like, disguise yourself. Are you? I have a question. So, are you? This how you used to look, but smaller?
I used to look like you,
Yeah,
and
but
now
no,
I'm a kind of leaf bay creature.
I know, but I didn't know if you sort of had the same. You know, I don't know how.
I didn't choose this form.
Okay, okay.
This is just sort of a thing that happened. I got attached to it. So the crowd erupts in cheers, and a figure kind of steps out of the carriage. It's very hard to see from this distance, but if everyone wants to give me a perception check, maybe you can see a bit clearer.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Nice.
This is a lovely omen of things to come.
Let's get him out of the way now.
Okay. You all really struggle to see the figure that comes out. It seems to be almost like a person in very shiny armor. That's kind of all you can make out. You hear Vance talking to someone nearby, and Vance just casually goes to someone, "Hey, you, what's going on over there?" And someone in the crowd just says, "It's Lord Sikadan. He's arriving to visit King Thrain. It's an honor to witness his living presence." And Vance goes, "Oh." Okay. Nearby, another sort of scoffs and says, "It's not like they've done anything in 2 millennia. I understand they created us, but they could just back off and let us do our own thing now, huh?" Vance says, "Be careful. That sort of thing could get you in trouble." The crowd cheers harder and surges forward as Vance points over to this figure walking towards the main open doors as they open up. Yeah, it seems to be a tall, burly figure wearing sort of shining armor. And then he enters the palace, and the crowd just kind of murmurs amongst themselves a bit.
I mean, that counts for that. Your
Who's what?
Okay.
Oh, I see.
Well, how does that feel? Well, he is just a guy.
Vance says, "Remember what Cadell said. We can't mess with the timeline. You can't speak to him."
Robin's saying we can't hear Richard again.
Oh.
Well spotted, Robin.
It do be like that sometimes.
Thanks, Robin.
Thank you, Robin.
Okay, thank you to our technical support. I should now be audible.
So, yeah, you were just explaining how it was Sikadan, your god. Yeah, and Vance says, yes. Just remember, you can't meet him. We can't mess with the timeline.
Oh, I don't know what I'd say anyway.
That
Like,
being said-
hi, I worship you thousands of years in the future. Kind of weird, to be honest, if someone came up to you and said that.
I mean, judging by all of the fanfare, I imagine he would prefer you to worship him now.
Remind me, what is he god of exactly?
A few bits.
Isn't he one of your gods?
It's just...
Bit of this,
Yeah,
bit of that.
isn't it to do with forgiveness?
Yeah, there's a few things kind of wrapped up in there. Like, there's some stuff around, like, you know, second chances and all that, but there's also some stuff with, like, smithing, stuff like that. So,
You actually know.
well,
I've got the thing for you.
Yeah.
I remember I sent you that whole thing.
Yeah.
It's in the Discord. If you search Sikadan in the Discord,
Yeah.
it'll-
It kind of depends who you ask, to be honest.
Okay.
Like some people really go hard on the second chances thing.
He sounds like a very good all-rounder god. To that.
Yes. Yeah, Vance explains that Sikadan, along with Calcifer, explains that Sikadan is also known as the Lord of Brass, the Hammer, the Blacksmith, and the Lord of Earth, who was a master creator, and he was responsible for creating a lot of ancient technologies, unique metals, artifacts, such as shade steel, elder boxes, hex weaves, and yeah, stuff like that.
So, an error. You might want to keep that, just like point at a chest, extra hidden.
What? My
I don't
job
know.
isn't that low cat, is it?
No, you're what's under that?
Calcifer starts blushing.
Look, I don't know if he's made it yet, but it might be a bit weird unless this is where he got the inspiration for it, and
Yeah,
then if we
that's
don't
fine.
show it to him, then that messes with the timeline.
I'll cover it up. I'll just put on a jumper. I don't know.
Vance turns around and says, "I think I know what's going to happen. I know where this is. I know what's going to happen now."
Okay, should we leave? Or
We're going to have to sit by and watch.
okay.
Might be unfortunate.
Can you tell us what it is? I'd rather not, realize I have to run for my life after the fact, when you could have just told me now.
Vance says the time stone is locked onto Nyx's most powerful memory. This is the day that King Thrain captures Sikadan and declares war on the gods for the immortal elves' independence. Tonight, King Thrain will hold a grand ceremony to reveal a new piece of technology which he says will revolutionize the way the immortal elves live. He invited the five gods to witness it, but only Sikadan accepted the invitation. And taking offense, he uses his new design on Sikadan, capturing him.
Seems a bit arse backwards, punishing the one guy that actually did show up.
Nyx looks a bit uncomfortable, and she whispers, "The first elder box."
The first god trapped inside one.
Tomorrow, Vance continues, Pandaren will hear about Thrain's insurrection. He will send his best general to deal with the situation and discover what happened to Sikadan. And King Thrain will fire on the fleet, and then Nyx says they destroyed the city. She pauses. Wait, it all happened so fast for us. The alarms. We barely got to the escape pod in time. Even after 10,000 years, I still remember that clearly. And then after a moment, she says, Vance, you said Fandarin's best general. It was you, wasn't it? And Vance says nothing. Nyx says, I thought so. I fucking thought so. And then she just charges at Vance.
Are we around people still?
There's like the crowd is starting to separate, but both Vance and Nyx are sort of like in the crowd. And as she charges at Vance, Vance just like flicks his fingers and just swats her away with some magic, and she just goes flying.
Do people notice?
Some people kind of like look away, but then Vance just turns around, clicks his fingers, and they just sort of have a blank expression on their face, and they just start walking.
Fuck you.
He
I
says,
say, just running at him.
I've paid my price for my sins 1,000 times over, Vance says. You're not the only one with a tragic backstory. Vance huffs. Remember why we're here. We're here for Hanera. So we can deal with the imminent end of the world, remember? Not yours or your fey companion's pathetic whinging.
Fuck you.
Henning, can you control your pet, please? It was not a joke.
It's not my pet, I assure you.
Nick sort of like wipes herself down a little bit and just says, I'm fine. Vance says, now, the Whisper Route. Where exactly would that be kept, Nyx? She says, the Arboretum. I could get us in a back way. We can go. We'll have to go through. Go at dark though.
Who we likely to see in there?
Hopefully, no one. Should be able to sneak through.
Well, you did mention that the dinner was tonight, where the king captures Psychodan, right?
Yes, but there won't be anyone in the basement and the Arboretum. Hopefully, during that time.
I hope you're right.
When was the attack?
The attack is going to be tomorrow morning.
Right. So we got time.
I guess we should just wait and try and burn some time then before dark. Not sure what time of day it is.
Is there like a homeless quarter or something?
There's a few inns.
I was thinking if we just found somewhere abandoned, it would risk the time stream a lot less.
I think we need to secure an escape route. If this city's going to get bombarded tomorrow morning, we need a way off it.
We need to
an
find
escape pod next.
Escape pod.
Yes, is that the best way to leave this place in the event things go terribly wrong very quick?
Yes, the engines are at the bottom of the city. There's maintenance, sort of pipes and all sorts that goes down there. There'll be some escape pods down there.
Is there more than one?
There's multiple.
Okay, I was going to say because, Nyx was mentioning how she got to the escape pod.
An error.
Yeah.
You got a featherfall, right?
Yeah, I also have teleport.
That might be better.
I can only go 100 meters.
Nyx, Vance, do you mean 100 miles?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
I think so.
100 meters would be really shit. That's just dimension door.
Yeah, 100 miles and takes 10 minutes to cast.
Right. Do you remember what's under this city?
What do you mean?
Basically, if it comes to it and we have to just jump off the side of this thing and Hanera can catch us, or she can teleport us to the ground maybe, are we going to be alright? Or are we going to be just drowning in the ocean?
No, I'm pretty sure it should be a Kate underneath us.
Right.
But the planet had a lot more land back then. The oceans weren't as high.
What happened to the floating cities? Did they just disappear, or did they crash?
The wars of the Titan Wars killed most of them. Advances.
Yeah, but where did they wind up?
They just crashed to Earth and then became big mountains or big piles of Earth, and that just over time were built on. These cities themselves are mostly made of ground and earth. It's like when you go and dig far underground and you find an ancient temple or something. Often it was because it was once on one of these cities, and over time the earth just went over top of it. Nyx guides you sort of down a few side alleys and just leads you into the main gardens of the outskirts of the city, just sort of like looking at, heading almost over the side. You see a large river spewing a waterfall off the side of the city, and sort of just like looking over a couple of hand railings, you see that it's probably 1,000-foot drop.
Nice.
Or more to a lush forest underneath that seems to go for miles, interspersed with mountains and sort of rocky outcroppings that sort of just jut out the top of it. Vance says, this looks quiet enough here. We can just chill here for a bit.
Okay.
Nyx goes off and kind of sulks away from Vance.
I'm
sorry,
gonna go
Nyx and
find
Vance
Nick.
actual humans now. Is it Nyx is
No,
still a
Nyx
leaf,
is kind
right?
of like an invisible. She's invisible to everyone else except for you guys.
I'm gonna go find Nex.
Okay. She's just curled up next to a little tree stump. To go sit next to her.
Yeah.
She says, I just never thought I'd be back here.
I know.
After the war, this just started it, but this was half a decade of conflict that was started from this destruction. We were brought in by other cities, by other peoples who sided with my father. And Sikadan created Shadesteel to avenge us, or his capture. I was taken from him and dropped in a new world that we were just left to rot in.
When you say taken from him,
Taken from my father.
oh, okay.
Taken from my family, my mother.
Are you going to be able to remain level-headed here?
She looks down, sort of sulks a little bit. Yes, I will.
Okay. Are you alright, though? It looked pretty...
Yeah, I'm alright. Can't wait until don't worry.
Still, though, when he touches you like that again, I'll find a. I don't know exactly, but how I'd manage. But I'd find a way, a good solid way. I think to just stab him real good.
Let's just do the mission and get out of here.
Okay.
What's the rest of you getting up to?
I go up to Calcifer.
Mhm.
I say, must be very strange seeing your god.
Yeah. You know, when you you read about or that kind of thing. You always think of him as this just, I don't know, just this sort of ethereal thing out in the universe. Not even like a person, really. But there he is, just walking about in armor and just there.
I imagine it's hard to have faith in something that you can see and know to be real.
Hmm.
It defeats the point, no?
I don't know. I mean, I don't see why not. Like, why would you believe in someone you can't see more than someone you can? That doesn't make sense.
Well, I was always under the impression that faith is a leap, no? It is, you can never know, but you believe without seeing. To see a god, it almost removes faith. I digress.
I mean, it puts into doubt what a god is, but I mean, that was always a bit wishy-washy, right?
For sure, but for sure. I wonder what would happen if you would use a magic here. If your power is, from what I understand, as a I understand you again, your power from your god. How would that work here? Would your god know that you are using power from it?
Well, I don't know. I'm still a little bit injured. I'm a bit concerned what happens if I try and find out. Is there going to just be a little ping from him across the
You are
city?
employing
Or...
my services. Nice to meet you. I mean, I leave it to you, but it could be interesting to see what happens.
Probably best play it safe and just get an error to talk to patch me up a bit. Not rely on his magic while I'm here.
If we do end up in trouble, and the situation requires it, would you?
If I need to, sure. Shit's already at the fan at that point.
Very well. Well, I hope it does not come to that.
Yeah.
Just kind of. I mean, I presume we were still sat with the whole group.
Yeah.
What kind of
I
animals?
imagine just
around?
like sat legs dangling off the edge of the city, just like kicking back
You
and
can
forth.
do that. I'm not.
Surprisingly, there doesn't seem to be many. You don't really see many animals at all up here. Looking at the trees, doesn't seem to be any birds or insects. There's kind of like a. When you thought it was a glass dome, seeing it from far away, but now that you're close up, it almost seems almost like a mirage, almost like maybe some sort of magic force field that seems to surround the city. You might be able to reach over and touch it to see whether it's like fully like stops you from going through.
That's that close.
Yeah, like you're sort of near the edge of the city at the moment, so you could reach over and probably bonk a stone at the force field.
Sure. Just kind of throw a stone at it.
The stone sort of it just goes straight through. It sort of ripples a little bit, but it seems to be almost like a sort of magical kind of. No, it looks like a gel or something. It seems to surround this.
Can I try and
the
cast
city.
like magic through it?
Yeah.
Just like a.
What are you gonna cast?
Produce flame
Powered
is at
kill.
the moment rather than. I don't want to do anything too crazy. Do I have like a cantrip I can use? Can I just like produce flame? Just try and like maybe produce the flame outside of it if it's more than 30 feet, like 30 feet away.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna like try and click
I'm pretty
my
sure you
finger.
can't. You do produce flame and just throw it.
I don't know if it's like how it works. Is it like fireball or is it just a flame that like how does it work?
It's a small ball of flame appears in your hand, and you lash at it with either in melee or at
Cool.
range.
Okay, I do that then. I
So yeah, you just fire a
produce
little.
kind of
You just throw a little
in my
fireball.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah, the flames are stopped almost entirely by it.
Mm.
Yeah, it seems to dissipate itself. But yeah, there doesn't seem to be many birds in the trees around. Maybe it's because there's like a big forest like way down below, so most of the birds will be there. But there's not anything like squirrels or little creatures going around the fields. Oh, there's no cats or anything.
Were
Vents.
cats invented yet?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Can we ask Vance? Can I ask Vance? Well, I will ask Vance rather.
Sure. What, where the cats exist?
No, like
Oh.
this place is very strange. It is this dome. It is shimmery, and I cannot see anything other than elves. What is this place like? Really?
What do you mean? What is it really?
Well,
This
it is just
where they lived.
no. I understand that, but it's just odd that it is. That there is nothing here. It is almost like a one of those really posh hospitals. It is clean everywhere, sterile. I think the word. There is no life, not real life.
Well, back in these times, mortal elves considered them separate from nature. They considered themselves above it. Nature was the forces of elemental evil. Ashad during the wars. And many of these immortal elves would have lived through that. So once they had domination over the nature, they lived as far away from it as they could.
Hence the flirting.
Rage is so grand, it is surprising to learn that it is fear that drives them.
It would be very rare to see one head down into the forests below. There are many creatures there which
What
may be harmful to them.
what people are? I say people. Is there any sentient life down there?
During this time, the only sentient life is the immortal elves.
Wow, just sea of trees as far as the eye can see, with nothing else.
Guided by Fandaren and his companions.
It's horrible. It is empty.
Many would say it was heaven. No one here had any want for anything. No one ever got ill. No one ever died of old age. Just hunting accidents and fighting.
He just kind of trails off from Vance. He just kind of stops listening because he's just kind of looking out, contemplating a world of just like emptiness and just like trees as far as the eye can see.
So, that does make me wonder, how did the elves just forget how to float?
The Wars of the Titans, when the Titans came, they destroyed everything. There was almost no city left standing at that point. There was generations and generations of elves and humans and orcs and dwarves all raised and born for the purpose of war, to fight against the Titans.
But they never floated again. Like, did they just lose the knowledge? Or was it a special kind of god technology that they needed?
Yeah, they lost the knowledge. After Fandaren and the other gods died, at the end of the Wars of the Titans, the entire world fell into a primitive state, effectively. Scavenging, building what they could from the devices they had. Eventually, all the knowledge of elven kind and humankind and everything was lost.
I really want to find some books and take them. Think how much that could get you in the future. There could be
Well-
secrets that we could profit from. Not, I just mean in the money sense, but you could move society forward leaps and bounds. I mean, flying cities. I can already see it now. Casquis's flying emporium.
If people could have done it, don't you think they would have tried already?
Well, clearly they did not work, but
I mean, they didn't
these
have
books-
time stones.
I think it would be quite the risk to the time stream.
Taking a dusty book from a shelf.
This city's going to get destroyed tomorrow morning anyway. Doesn't matter if a book goes missing, does it?
Yeah, that does work pretty well in our favour if we did want to do anything with the city.
I say I'm going to go look for a book if we've got a few hours.
I mean, hey, we're building a city, right?
I will not talk to anyone, you have my word. As best as I can.
You know, if the city that we make, you know, if a Kate goes, well, down the shitter,
Just fly away.
yeah, we just bring it over to Ashmelin or Orthaid or whatever.
The idea is for a Kate not to go sideways, remember?
Well, that's plan A. But it's good to have backups.
Okay, just be fucking careful.
I guess like now kind of like walk on the spot and kind of go. Yeah, I have no idea where I'm actually going. Nix, does Nix know?
Where did you want to go? Like a library or something?
I guess so. Yeah, like yeah.
Okay.
I mean, does the language? I guess does Nix could comprehend it presumably, and Vance. as well.
When Vance is around, he sort of passively just translates for you.
Okay.
Like a babelfish type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna head over to we'll head over to some kind of library.
Cool. Following Nix, who says, "I'm not sure. I like this as a suggestion, but whatever." She leads you to an archives off the main street, off the main high road leading to the palace. Is a kind of smaller glass dome building, maybe 6 or 7 stories high. It kind of almost like a tower. As you enter, there's a couple of immortal elves just sort of sitting at desks, studying. They seem to be masters of magic, absolutely. Just weird. Like there seems to be almost these magical kind of screens almost that seem to be just sort of lines of arcane magic floating in the air in the front of people, and they're sort of just using magical arcane spells to change what it says and or the patterns that are on it for studying, maybe for researching what's in the library.
Is there any? Does it look like you have to speak to people to kind of go into this place?
No, it looks free and accessible and open.
These
Okay,
kids,
just kind of go past them.
Start having a look around.
these kids spending too much time on their arcane screens these days. It's bad for them.
After you sort of so the large bookshelves seem to be absolutely pristine.
Sorry,
Um, That's right. Leather bound books, typed up on what seems to be like, I guess, printing press, some sort of printing press. A swathe of knowledge on almost every corner of the arts and humanities, the history of the immortal elves. Anyone who has any knowledge about archaeology would be absolutely their mind would be blown to be in a place like this. Vance says, all this knowledge and it'll be gone tomorrow.
If you could bring a few of the things back, what would you bring? what would be like if we could have 3 books?
You asking me?
Well, you lived here, no? I mean, you know what the art of the possible is.
You got any books on getting your body back?
I don't know, do they?
I don't know. I've never been to a library.
Never
But you've never been to a library. Can you read?
I've never had to read.
You know, you've had a long time to learn.
Wait, you can't read.
I can kind of read. It's fine. I can
Sorry.
write.
So, what you can write, but you can't read.
Immortal elf can't read.
Well, I can't
do
really pick up a pen, can I?
How do you check your own writing?
I usually just get people to write things for me if I have to.
My God.
Oh my god.
You're illiterate.
You're illiterate.
No, there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
Eric Sar is illiterate.
Do you
The
know?
great
Do you even
Sol
know that?
Makar. Illiterate.
Do you even know
Hey, listen,
that there's
in
an
the ti-
apostrophe in your name? Joanne, I think you're muted, by the way.
In my entire lifespan, language has changed about 1,500 times. Am I supposed to learn every single language as I go through it?
Well, you've had the time to do it.
Yeah, you read the grimoire, didn't you?
Yeah, but I have magic that just mostly does that sort of thing for me.
Oh god.
Oh.
Yeah, male elves don't really learn to read. It's a sexism thing.
Was that the case back here too?
Less so back here if you're a nerd, but
What?
Nerd.
I tended to focus more on the the arcane arts and the fighting sort of thing.
So a nerd.
I didn't have to deal with the reading, the writing.
It's
This is
just
the
quite
arcane
a
arts
shock.
of
It's not
Frozen,
something I would have.
Well, next time you see someone who's illiterate, don't think that they're not capable of almost taking over the world multiple times.
Is that why you tried to do it? Because you were insecure about your illiteracy?
Were you making up for it?
Well, you're just. He goes off.
No, we need
Carries
him.
himself in a book,
I
like a
think-
child's book.
We
I
need
think.
him.
Picture book.
He's got pictures.
Vance, he just like swap it upside down.
Yeah, I can read this. He's just upside down.
I can't believe this.
Vance, we do need you to. Okay, right, fine. If you're not going to tell me what book, where do you think I'd find book on how these floating cities will happen?
That'd be in the engineering section. A hunched over immortal elf, sort of a couple of rows down, says over to you.
I just kind of stare at him, but look past him.
I'm gonna ask.
Ignore me, good sir.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna ask her if she has any books on the Azira.
I'm a man.
If he has any books on the Azira, sorry.
On the Azira. What is that? What is the Azira?
I'll take that as a no.
I'll take. Yeah.
What about books about? No.
Be right back. My food's done.
On Ascension to go to? No, that is a terrible idea.
Pandaran's listening.
What about the flying carriages? How do they work?
Oh, well, that'll all be in the engineering section. That's on the 4th floor, just up the stairs there. Or up the teleportation pad, if you want to use that as well.
Oh, definitely. Just gonna go to the teleportation pad.
It's like a metal pad on the floor. It's got almost it seems to have like little wires coming out of it.
Are there any buttons on it? Presumably not.
There's some flashing lights. There's not really buttons. But the second you step on it, you step on it and you feel all your atoms being ripped off apart from each other one by one, just for a split second, and then boom, you're on the next floor.
Am I the same person?
You got like a little hand coming out your forehead now. Why is there a fly in here? Yeah, maybe that's why they keep the bugs and the birds away,
Okay.
so that it doesn't interact with the teleportation.
Yeah. Yeah. So is this the fourth floor?
Yeah, so appearing on the fourth floor, you see rows and rows of books on all sorts of ancient lost technologies, inventions, new up-and-coming inventions for this time.
I'd like to find a librarian and just ask them about their policy on loaning books out.
Well, here at Asgard Library, you are welcome to read a book in the archives, but unfortunately, for the sake of the protection of certain knowledges, we are unable to allow you to take books away without a sizable deposit.
How sizable the deposit?
Are you a visitor to the city? I do not recognize you.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, we require a bank account with at least 10 million credits.
Credits, you say? Right. Okay. In that case, I might just take notes, I guess.
Very well. I'm sorry about that. It is it's very important that we keep our books well preserved. We don't want people just stealing them now, do we?
Of course.
Well, libraries are supposed to last for millennia, so I hope this one does too.
Well, this one has already lasted for at least 2.5 millennia. We hope to see it to its next 2.5 millionth birthday.
Of course.
Yes, I was here when it was founded. Someone just listening in said.
What is your favorite book? You must have one.
Oh, I haven't read all of them yet. I couldn't possibly make that decision until then.
He kind of looks around, just like the millions and millions of books.
Nick says it's probably best just to take one and see what's in it.
Sure. Do you want us to do an investigation check, or?
If you'd like. What are you saying, Kelsey?
Nix, what's a credit, and is there a gold equivalent?
We didn't really use gold. It wasn't that rare back then.
Best not spend anything, because also it's future gold with other people's faces stamped on it.
Wait, am I poor again here?
Yeah, we're all poor.
I'm not.
I mean, like, you're poor too.
No, I'll just give them some jewelry or something.
What, made of gold?
That's not made of gold.
Vance reappears. Guess who just bought a lottery ticket?
Yeah. Why can't I find investigation? Am I being blind?
It should just be perception.
Okay, fine. Oh, nice.
So you have a look. You pull out after just sort of like looking at various covers. All the covers look kind of the same. One catches your eye as kind of almost golden writing, sort of just like a little. The lamplight sort of flickers off it. Taking it off the shelf, you see this large kind of. Yeah, it seems to be a book that has all sorts of little designs and sketches of various engines, of various like levitation platforms, various arcane spells and rituals to turn various pieces of metal into like conducting mechanisms and almost like arcane batteries and things like that. Including towards the end, as you're just flicking through, you see a chapter that says on creating a lodestone.
Ooh.
I don't know what to read most.
I kind of scramble and look for like paper that I don't know if we have any on our being or anything to like write on.
Yeah, flicking through it. You probably have some paper in your inventory.
Yeah.
Flicking through the book, you're just desperately scribbling down diagrams and
Just like all
various
sorts
like
of random stuff.
formulas, and yeah, just trying to work out like whether you can bring any of it with you.
Yeah. I mean,
Obviously, there's always a temptation that you could rip a page out if you thought no one was looking.
Well, I don't know
No.
if there's like I,
Doing that.
I don't know if there's like, you know how you go to like a shop and it has like a security thing on it and you go through the doors and it goes and obviously it triggers it. I
Yeah.
wonder if like even the pages have like kind of security tags on them.
You won't know until you try.
I'm not gonna risk it.
Fair enough.
I think I'm just gonna like copy and write Calcifer and Vance maybe. Just kind of hurried over this book.
All right, make a what check should you do to see how well you transcribe this knowledge? Any ideas, anyone?
Deception.
I have law engineering. I have
okay.
engineering
Nice.
law.
Why don't you
So
do
I
that,
am-
and then Calcifer can Cascus can aid
I'll
you.
aid.
Though I'm also a master in crafting, so like I'm 5. My check to that is 5 higher, so I don't know if it would actually be beneficial to use it over just regular crafting.
So you use the crafting then, if you
Okay.
want.
How I need to.
And then
aid.
you can aid. That's crafting as well.
Oh, we haven't rested since I used all my legend points.
I haven't used the legend point. I'll use it, so I get +5 because I'm untrained. Oh wait, no, that was when Cascus was an investigator. I'll use a legend point. So
Yeah,
that's
so-
All
26.
right, so
Okay,
that's plus
So
one,
31.
isn't it? Yeah, 31. Okay. After a couple of hours, you do your best to transcribe it. It's pretty good. No idea whether you're going to remember what it means, but you draw some, you copy down some sketches and stuff.
I guess the
Okay.
lodestone and then some of the.
Yeah.
If there's was there anything in there about like how floating cities work?
Yeah, there was like there was like levitation engines, which there was like a chapter on levitation engines, and that
Okay.
usually requires a lodestone to power it. Like if
Nice.
you remember how the Dragonborn city was,
Yeah.
was
That's
powered,
right.
it was a lodestone that powered that as well.
Good point.
But the idea is that you'd create a lodestone, whether it's a powerful one or not a powerful one, and then you'd put it in a levitation engine. The more powerful the lodestone, the larger engine that you could power. And the idea is that one very, very large lodestone or powerful one could probably power a whole city.
How many floating cities were there?
Are you asking Nix or Vance? Or something?
Yeah, if one of them's nearby. It's like, how many of these big floating cities are there?
Thousands. There were millions of mortal elves before the fall.
Just wonder if these lodestones are similar to the ones on Nerd in our day.
Many of them have been taken from sites that they've been found in from the Age of Gods. And then obviously you have tile stones as well, which are slightly different.
So they don't have those now, or do
They don't
arrive
have.
later?
Well, they might have some. Like you could probably pick some up, but like tile has exploded.
Right.
So like by now, yeah.
Hmm.
What were you saying, Sayat?
I imagine, like, just in your free time, you can have, like, Vance or Nix just read these and say them out loud so you can transcribe it into common.
Yeah. It gets translated and stuff anyway, but yeah, you translated it the best you can into a language that you can understand.
Are there any mysteries about like really like myths? I mean, obviously, it's probably all myth at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, if there's anything on like history, or I'm trying to think, maybe like more about like just the gods themselves as they were people.
Sure. There's quite a few books that are around that talk about like interviews that Venturin has done, and like the different gods like doing like talks and stuff. And,
yeah, I mean, it would be fascinating.
being public figures, effectively. There's a bit.
Venturin's TED talk.
Yeah, Venturin's like how to create a civilization.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it seems to be the sort of thing that you could spend literally weeks and weeks in here and still not have enough info.
What about specifically the not the Raven? What's her name? I'm having a complete mind blank. I'm sorry.
Trespasser.
Trespasser. Yes.
She isn't. She's like an immortal elf at this point, but she hasn't taken over from Sikadan yet.
Oh, as in Sikadan is the god of the dead.
Yeah. Hang on.
So he made the Soul Gate.
Yeah.
But he's
So
not
Avance
saying.
explains that. Oh, if you want to explain, sorry, Casper.
Hang on. So he. Where is it? I have the thing up.
Is the soul well?
Soul well. Where is it? My skimming abilities are failing me. The Soul Gate, yeah.
Oh, soul gate.
Yeah, in addition to his crafting skills, Sikadan played a crucial role as the guardian of the afterlife. He built the Soul Gate, a device used during the war against the Titans to recycle the souls of the deceased, allowing them to be reborn with their memories. This invention also helped the dead, ensuring their souls were reborn. However, after the god's downfall, the Soul Gate fell under the care of the Trespasser, who lacked the knowledge to operate it fully. So she just protected it rather than actually making full use of it like he would have.
It's still a thing now.
So in this time that you're in at the moment, it hasn't been invented yet.
Okay.
But in the future, it does exist, and it's somewhere where that Gideon explained that that Scrimshaw and Morna tried to go and
yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, like to try and like
Yeah.
to find the Trespasser and wake her up and stuff.
In the Soul Gate, because that's where the dead creatures would go.
Yeah, but she's gone missing, and that they've gone missing, and that Gideon suspected that someone else has taken over control of the Soul Gate.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Sikadan originally created that during the Wars against the Titan.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sated.
Cool.
I suppose I should probably, while I'm here, also try and look for some juicy Sikadan information that I wouldn't have been able to get in our time.
Sure. Make a perception check for me.
Sorry. It's like finding
what
a
you said?
testament in the Bible.
Oh yeah, yeah, like Joseph Smith did.
Yeah.
In Utah.
33.
Okay. Let's take a 15-minute break, shall we? We'll come back in a bit. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me have a think. All right. Let's go to break.
All right. See you in a bit, bozos.
Hello, welcome back. So just before the break, what did you ask me, Counselor? You asked me about information on Cicadam. That's
Yeah.
where we're at.
Things that might not necessarily be available in the modern day.
Oh, sure. I mean, there's whole books and books and books and sort of essays on him and various things. The amount of time you have is quite limited, really. Just what did you get on your perception check? 33. Let me have a think of that. Maybe I'll send you some extra stuff you might pick up.
Cool.
In between sessions.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So sort of your time in the library ticks on, and the sun starts to go down. Nick says we should head towards the palace soon. Should be able to get us in.
Yeah.
Alright. My eyes are starting to get a bit weary anyway from all this reading.
Yeah.
Because like that happens, by the way, Vance, when you've been reading for a while. Sometimes your eyes get a bit tired because
Yes, I wouldn't know anything about that.
That's not the flex you think it is. It really isn't.
Nix says, "Come on, let's go." Leads you out of the library. Down a few streets as the lanterns on the road start to sort of light up and cast a very bright white light, arcane light over these streets. It's very peaceful. It seems almost like there's no crime, no homelessness, not really any suffering. It's kind of boring.
Wow, Mike.
You know, it's kind of boring, really. Everyone's got everything they need. And after a little, even to the extent where in a city that you're used to, there would be guards everywhere, just guarding every single bit of property, stopping people from stealing things, just marching around, beating people up. Here, you haven't seen a single of what you would call a guard or some form of police at all. It's almost as if the people just stick to their own business and don't interfere with anyone else's.
So the elf said ACAP.
Well, you can't. There's probably some sort of security and violence because they have a
Right.
king, right? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, but it's not obvious.
Right.
What were we saying, Cascades?
Just wondering about, reflecting on our time at kind of Lenora and other elven cities. Presumably, it's not like Orthaid levels of guarding, but it's like there is a presence, like elves.
Yeah, like the elves in the time where you're from are there's a very serf master relationship between them. The vast majority of them rely on their lords for food and stuff.
Yeah,
so they wouldn't even think twice about. Yeah, there's not that much in terms of like guarding, but there's still a bit. Like there's still petty crime, but there doesn't seem to be any evidence of that here. As you're walking through these streets, eventually Nyx leads you to sort of a manhole cover, which leads down into a lower kind of maintenance shaft, almost like a sewer. She says, "Don't tell me how I know about this place."
How do you know about this place?
I said, "Don't ask me." She motions for you to go down. I used to sneak out of here, out of the palace quite a lot.
It doesn't look like you probably had to take much effort to sneak out. Kind of noting there's no guards anywhere.
Sure, but my father, he wouldn't have liked it.
Why were you sneaking out? Boys, girls, neither.
Just for a bit of peace and quiet, really.
Right. Okay.
But Now I think about it, I've had enough peace and quiet. I'd like to hear my family.
You
Anyway.
sure that you are ready for this? It would be a big. Well, if we do end up seeing somebody, it could be a lot.
Yeah. But anyway, let's go. Let's carry on. So you go down the manhole cover,
Yeah.
Expecting
climbing
to
down the
have-
ladder, entering into a kind of again, it's a very pristine maintenance shaft, made mostly of metal. It seems to be, maybe 10 foot by 10 foot. Like there's evidence of like pipes and things like on the sides of the walls, but otherwise there's not like really into any terms of rats or grime or anything down here. It seems to be quite well cleaned.
I
would
hate
say.
this. Why is everything always so fucking clean?
You know, you'd think with a floating city, they'd just dig a hole straight down.
I suppose
It all gets recycled, just things like that. That's it.
Oh,
Hey, where do you think all that big waterfall goes off? There's not like a natural spring in this floating city.
Great. Great. Pissful.
Oh god, is that what it is?
I thought it smelled weird.
And Evans says, and now you know how the immortal elves feels about nature. As he walks further down the tunnel. Right, where are we? So you come eventually to a small hole in the end of the tunnel. There's like a hole in the wall that can be pulled out. It's like a couple of pieces of sort of metal sheeting that's just over a hole that goes into the palace. Pushing them out of the way, you enter down into a dark tunnel, and you notice a whole bunch of barred cells, which opens up into a kind of hallway. There doesn't seem to be any guards here, nor there's anyone in the prison. But there is a prison just in case, apparently. And eventually, you stop and you see before you there's a plinth in the middle of the hallway, with what seems to be a golden telescopic object with arcane sketching across its casing. A couple of clasps hold it shut. Any of you who know a little bit about arcane history would know that looks like an elder box.
Ooh.
Vance says, wait, is Sikadan already in there? Nick says,
Throw them out.
Vance says, don't touch it. We can't release Sikadan.
But we release them when we get back. And then we won't have changed time.
It'll mess up the timeline. He has to remain in there.
What do you mean it'll mess up the timeline? When we get back, we could release
No,
it.
as in the box needs to be there. The box needs to stay here.
Why don't we replace it with something that looks the same?
Just trick
No.
time. Just trick it.
I've got crafting materials. I'll quickly.
As you're sort of talking between yourselves, suddenly a bolt of energy shoots out of it and hits you, Calcifer, right in the chest, right where your sigil to Sikadan is. You wobble, and then before you know it, everything goes black and you fall to the floor. You all look over and see Nyx holding the top of the elder box, fiddling with it and trying to open it.
I run on over. I run on over and I try and grab it.
Cascus. Everything suddenly goes black as you fall to the ground.
Cascus,
So do you
Calcifer.
mean-
Calcifer, sorry. And you awake almost instantly with a splash as you hit onto a cold floor, covered with what seems to be a thin layer of water. It seems to be almost like stone, a stone floor underneath. You look around and it's just a black, endless landscape with water kind of below you. And just in front of you, a mighty throne sits with a being of shining light sitting atop it. You wear the sigil of my cause, but you are not a Fandaran's creation, the voice says. Who are you? Why are you here? No, wait, Sigadan says. You are of my creation. I would recognize my craft anywhere. But I don't remember creating you.
Your memory isn't flawed. I fear I can only say so much.
He sits back in his chair and it's very hard to make out any sort of features from him other than he seems to be about 10 feet tall, very broad, and his skin itself is so bright that you can almost just squint and look at him as he sits before you. It almost feels like there's like a sun raging just before you. He says, "You are not of this time, are you?" And then going back to the party POV, Vance rushes forward in a flash and grabs Nyx by the scruff of the neck, as you also rush forward, Cyan. He pulls her off the elder box. You could have doomed us all, you fool. Nyx just starts crying.
I don't know what's going on.
I go over and I hug her.
Calcifer is on the collapsed in front of you.
Yeah,
He's like unconscious on the floor right now.
Step
I know.
over there.
I just meant like Hanera doesn't know what's going on.
Can we drag him
Confusing.
away? Because this feels like an area where somebody might come back soon.
You can you can just drag
Quite
him on the
heavy.
Drag him.
floor. Next to you, Cyan, is sort of crying, and between sobs, she's saying, "I thought that if I freed Sigadan, everything that was going to happen wouldn't.
I know.
Knowing what's to come."
I know. It's
That was a stupid decision, Vance says.
not you.
I would say I actually do sort of have to agree with Vance. Which is a bit of a odd take, but usually wouldn't. But yeah, if we could just keep a lid on it, maybe. I understand it's hard, with everything that happened, Nyx. But we also, I don't want to not exist. So if we could maybe not let him out right now, that would
Vance,
be really helpful.
Vance goes over and kneels next to Calcifer and sort of listens to his breathing. He's dead.
What?
Oh no.
Going back to Sigadan. Going back to Calcifer's POV. You should not be here, Sigadan says. But I cannot help but feel your thoughts. You are so unpracticed. You must be young.
By your standards.
You've come here for your friend. Your world is in danger.
Yeah.
What is your name?
Calcifer. Calcifer Hammersteel.
He pauses, and then stands up. Calcifer, tell me this honestly, and I will not probe any more. I could leave this elder box. Your friend weakened this machine's hold over me. But should I remain?
Well, that depends. How much do you know? How much do you know about time?
I know little, to be fair. My people dabbled in its use. But there are not many of us left.
See, I'm not going to pretend it wouldn't please me to see you released. But if that happens, then this event probably don't happen in the first place.
Sikadan nods. Then I shall wait. Thank you. He sits back down on the throne. You have such loss within you. I can feel it. You've attached yourself to a group that doesn't even know.
I mean, I've shared it a bit. Don't talk about it much, but it's on the list, you know.
Your future doesn't hold me. He sighs. I saw that. Don't worry. I will not mention it to anyone. But if you wish to have her back... He leans forward, and the light coming off his body begins to shine brighter and brighter and almost engulfs you. And you begin to see a vision. A single dead white tree stands at the center of a marsh. Its roots snake deep into the earth. You see white fog snaking around its base, and wisps of spiritual energy shoot into its branches, being absorbed by it. Your soul, Sikadan says. It has been corrupted. Even here, a dark force tugs at it.
How?
He lets go. A malignant force, a parasite, has laid claim to your soul, to the souls of all people in your time.
What?
I am creating a machine. I have named it the Soul Well. It is a way that souls can be recycled, and that no one need die forever. Clearly, it seems that in your time, it has been broken, or something has laid claim to it.
How do you
But
fix it?
something is attached to itself to it, and acts as its steward, but for a dark, nefarious reason. Until it is dealt with, nobody's soul is safe. You must find my shield, Calcifer. Find my shield. It will reset the Soul Well.
Where do I, how, what do I, give me a lead, something, where do I start?
Find the Cyanide Eye. The vision breaks, and Calcifer sits up as the rest of the group looks at him, like with a huge breath, almost as if the life came back to you.
Oh god, he's a zombie! Kill him now!
Welcome back to the world of the living.
Fox brains. Just kidding.
Okay. Yes,
Okay,
you're right.
alright.
Put him down.
Wait, you say put him down?
As a Cyanide Eye.
Again? Put them down again?
Care to explain what happened?
Well, I suppose good news is, well, bad news is, what Nyx did basically let him out. Good news is he decided to stay.
Presumably that means that today he could get out quite easily if we found his elder box.
I think he could get out right now.
Well, I hope there is not a rampaging god in our time.
I mean, it could mean that we find that elder box in one day.
Why don't we bury it?
Well, I suppose we find it. Can you read anyway? No. Anyway,
Nick says, like rushes up to you and says, "I'm so sorry."
that's all right. I feel fine. He just like gives a couple of knocks on his chest where it hit. Though he knows we're here now, so I think I might give myself a little bit of a top up, and just Casper's gonna use lay on hands to heal himself, because he's still actually damaged
Sure.
from the previous fight.
That's fine. It seems to work fine. Vance says, "So you spoke with Cicada?"
Yeah.
You're still alive to...
Gideon mentioned before about the Soul Gate. He mentioned how to fix it.
Is that the one in Orthade?
I think it was in Eshmelin. I think it was in Eshmelin.
Yeah, well, they thought that it was in Eshmelin.
Hmm.
Like they were looking for it.
Yeah, supposedly it was in Eshmelin. Anyway, yeah, basically find his shield. I said look for the Cyan Durai. Not quite sure what that is.
Please can I do a check from my Sidenara law skill?
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't think this would come in handy, but maybe it still won't. 30.
So there's two organizations that exist in Adana that are non-political and aren't ruled by the Padre. The first one is the Savas, and their job is to record and keep as much knowledge safe as possible. And the other one is the Cyan Durai, who are supposed to protect the elves from outside forces. And they are said to have extremely detailed and in-depth hidden knowledge about like a lot of stuff from the Age of Gods, and it's them who really like keeps the elves safe.
When you say outside forces, you don't mean like Orthade people. You mean like different realms and things,
Yeah,
right?
different realms, demons.
Right.
They're like the Inquisition, as to the Savas' kind of like clerical stuff. And you heard from Cadell, because I think Cadell or Isolde Mayan mentioned at some point in the past that the Cyan Durai, that if you wanted to join the Savas Calcifer, you would have to actually end up joining the Cyan Durai, because they don't allow men into the Savas.
Which one are the fishbowl one people?
That's the Shiana. They're the priests.
Okay.
But unfortunately, they are political.
Unfortunately.
So yeah, the signs are right. Oh, also, if we go to the map, Adana map, the signs are right up here in the high tower. That's where their base is.
So quite a way away.
I didn't think my Sidenara law skill would ever come in handy, but here we are.
There we are.
I suppose you lived kind of near the high tower.
Not really.
Oh.
From but you know where it says 50k with the H. That's where Hannah is from. But I guess it is sort of in this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good 200 miles away, but it's close enough.
Closer than we are.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you're also a few thousand years in the past.
Well, yeah.
All right. So, Vance says, goodness, we should keep going. We've done enough damage to the timeline already. Now that you're okay, Calcifer.
Yeah, let's keep going. And if you see any shields around, any real fancy ones, then yeah, pipe
Yeah, I'll
up.
let you know. Don't worry.
I'm not actually sure if he was referring to finding a shield here and now or in the future. So,
Well, he was sort of insinuating that that if you find the signs are right, that would lead you to finding the shield.
right.
Signs around, yeah, I don't think.
Well, presumably they had to be a thing for him to know what they were.
No, because he. Well, yeah, they're a thing, but basically he's saying that he'll make it happen so that.
He could have just come up with the name. Castle's just like, I'd like to rename them, please.
Yeah. He literally was just like, I've just come up with this name right now. I'm gonna do that. That's how far forward he thinks about it.
Call them the pawns of Cal.
How do you do that from within an elder box, anyway?
Well, he's just
God.
His energy is held within it. Yeah, and he's very powerful. Like he's like the five gods were particularly powerful for people from Tal. But also, he seems to target Calcifer because of the icon on his thing. Anyway, so going up to the Arboretum. So continuing up, you see that there's large tropical plants and flowering bushes that line a neat walkway in the center of a large interior garden. A domed glass roof above you sort of lets a bit of light in, which seems to be like mostly moonlight at this point. But at least in here, you do notice that there does seem to be tropical birds, like some sort of parrot-like birds and cuckoos and various things just flying around you. Let's not step on any butterflies, Vance says.
So there's birds here, just not anywhere else.
I guess they are trapped by the dome.
It's like a zoo.
Yes, perhaps they'd fly off, Vance says. Otherwise.
Just how rich do you need to... Is rich even a thing here? What the fuck? This strange civilization. Strange civilization.
So where could we find the orchid?
Oh, right, it's this way, Nick says, and sort of leads you further down in the garden. There doesn't seem to be like anyone walking through here or any guards. You do see around like the far end of the garden. There are maybe a couple of people walking down the corridor, but yeah, you're keeping to yourself quite well. And you're not really close enough for them to notice you yet. Eventually, you're led to a small. Where are we? You're led to a small, kind of nondescript weed with a grey flower on it. Nix points to it and says, "Here we are, silent roots.
How many of them are there?
There's maybe 3 or 4 plants.
Should we maybe take 2?
It's your choice. Take as many as you like."
I just start shoving them in various things I have. Just take as many, like a couple of the plants or whatever.
Be careful. The leaves are very poisonous.
Yeah. Now you're telling me.
He says after rubbing the leaves all
Yeah,
over
it's
his
just like,
face.
Rubbing on my
Yeah,
face.
make sure you got your gauntlets on.
Yeah, it has a sort of almost soapy smell to it.
Is there, with nettles, there are sometimes leaves that enable us to reduce the effect of it. Does that thing happen for this species?
Unfortunately not, Nick says. Silent root is a plant unlike many others. Its poison and its antidote are both found on the same plant.
I see. No, in that case, I will not look.
Cool. So we got that. Now we just need to find our good old friend Cadell.
Vance says, yes, how are we going to do that?
Loot doesn't work. Maybe we
wait?
just start looking for elves that look funny.
We might get a zip back in 7 days, who knows?
But that might just be for him, though. Because he's got the time stone. Or not
Yeah.
anymore.
Though maybe he gets it back and then he comes back for us.
If
But
he even knows where
might
we
not know where
are.
we are, and then
Remember,
I
there's all
dunno.
those creatures where we teleported out before. Nick says.
Hmm.
I do not understand why he would not be with us in some way. It should make sense, no? Why would he be separated?
Vance says, the only thing I can think of is that he was holding the time stone when we went back in time.
Hmm.
But holding the stone, I mean, Gideon said it should not make a difference if there is somebody holding the stone.
But Gideon also said that he's never done it where someone's holding the stone and there's other people. He's only done it himself.
maybe it's like an horse and carriage. Person on the horse is the one with the time stone. Carriage is the rest of us. Horse gets
What-
detached. We get flung off somewhere else.
Right.
This date and place is too convenient. It would have to be a different time in the same space. We are where we need to be, no?
And I guess
Maybe
it
it was
must...
to do with the circle that we were stood in. Because we were stood in like a circle, right?
When we arrived or before we left?
Before we left.
How about we head back and we have this conversation somewhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah, Vance says, yes, I agree.
Okay.
I thought we were already walking out as we said this.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we were staying still. It's
Can everyone
weird.
just make a final stealth check? Well, just a stealth check.
Ooh,
As you mean.
I can
Blind
try.
jam roll?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Right.
I'll-
Think back open again.
Oh, I am a lot better than this that I used to be, because I have the untrained thing now.
Why does it say that Joanne privately rolled some dice? Not an error. Me specifically for real life.
Yeah, because Hanera's not rolling the dice.
Oh wait, don't do that. Why? I put blind GM roll.
Okay, you did.
That is odd. Oh no, I've put blind GM roll.
I've had...
Oh no, it did do it. Oh, that was weird.
no,
Blind
I
GM roll,
manually made
but oh, you've changed it. That's weird.
it. It's fine. All right. So everyone, it's making your way through. Vance says, "You've got me thinking now about that horse and carriage analogy. But if he's gone from a different time, is he going to be ahead of us or behind us?"
Well, if it's the same analogy, then behind, right?
He went further back. You're saying?
Further back, yeah, further back or after our...
Now he presumably would only have a week until he would disappear, or he's been here the whole time, and he leaves when we leave, which would be in a week's time. But we should be able to feel or see some kind of time bubble, no, somewhere in the city. Sense it, feel it.
Yeah, I mean, nothing seemed to
should be
stop
like a
messing with the Elder
anchor.
Box, and yeah, if someone was going to happen, I would think it would have happened then, unless this
Hmm.
is what always happened.
You make your way further down, back to where you came out, back into the maintenance shaft, and then back up to the manhole. As you poke your head out the manhole, you see in the distance a figure just kind of waiting around for you, wearing a cloak. Doesn't seem to be Cadell. It seems to be like maybe like a child, like a younger immortal elf.
How do we know
So-
they're waiting for us?
Just like literally, just like standing there watching you come out.
Hmm.
Not waiting necessarily, but just watching you come out of the manhole.
We're maintenance
Are we able to speak?
inspectors.
You can speak to them.
But like in the same language, like what's translated?
Yeah, because Vance is I said this before, but
Oh,
Vance
sorry.
translates
Sorry, I thought you just meant, like,
languages kind of
text.
passively. No. Yeah, it's all languages.
Okay, fine.
We're maintenance inspectors.
I've got a letter for you. The kid says.
Okay.
There you go.
I take the letter.
Who
how long have
who
you had-
sent you to deliver this letter? Who sent you?
Can't say.
How long have you had the letter?
He says, I was given it this morning.
Gonna
Can I read it, please?
There you go.
cool. Grand Station.
What?
Where's the Grand Station?
What's your station?
Kid. Where's the Grand Station?
The Grand Station is just past the palace down the road, down the street.
Thank you. I haven't got anything to pay you with.
That's a lie.
Well,
I can sing you a
I
song.
don't.
The kid just turns around and starts walking off.
Aww.
I have gold, but they don't use gold.
You don't have any credits, you brokey.
Yeah.
Could give him one of the bombs.
Vance is very strange for that he knew that we were there.
Well, the K in the letter suggests Cadell.
Well, it could be a lot of people.
Yeah, but how did he know we were coming out of that exact manhole cover?
Yes, I agree. That is an odd.
It could
unless-
be the Kaida.
Or we told Cadell. Yes, I mean, is it Cardar with a K?
Yeah, Koda has a K.
Maybe it's someone that we know who has like a silent K at the start of their name, like knife.
I don't know
Knife
any
doesn't have a
knives.
silent K.
Maybe
Not
this
in
ain't-
Elvish.
Maybe this isn't Cadell's first time through.
Maybe we need to tell him where we are.
The Cadell we know might have met us before.
Better the Cadell you know than the Cadell you don't.
So walking, you're walking, I guess.
Yeah,
towards it. It opens so you get to the Grand Station. It seems to be this absolutely huge kind of waiting room with glass windows that opens up into a plaza beyond, where these carriages, these golden carriages that seem to have these sort of arcane engines that pick it up, sort of hover and levitate up into the air. And you watch as they kind of go in and out of this of the bubble shield that seems to surround the city. A large amount of people are kind of just waiting, with some bags for traveling. Perhaps they're going to other cities. Perhaps they're, going to somewhere else. Who knows? And as you got that letter in your hand, you're sort of just looking around. You see in the distance Cadell looking confused with another letter in his hand. Looks up at you. Oh, hey. I thought I had lost you.
You
Let me guess.
had lost us.
Let me guess. You got a letter from us telling you to meet us here.
Yes. I was quite surprised that you knew where I was, but congrats.
You
got
sent
the-
us a letter to find you.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Well,
No,
we
I didn't.
got a letter.
Prove your Cadell. Say something only Cadell would know.
How could I be sure that only I would know that?
That
Well,
sounds like Adele.
No. What gift did you give me?
When?
A few months ago.
Remember the gift?
What gift did he give? I can't remember now.
He gave me a quill.
Oh yeah, of course he did. Yeah. It's a quill.
All right.
So
It's the
if
real deal.
What's Hank's middle name?
What's my middle name? Wait, I haven't told anyone my middle name. Shit.
you'll notice that obviously Vance has hidden himself.
And looking around, is there anyone or anyone watching us?
Make a perception check. Doesn't seem to be.
I privately rolled it.
Yeah, that's right. Doesn't seem to be.
Well,
Cadell says. Oh, go on.
I'm sorry. We got the plants.
Oh well done for that.
Can you?
Congratulations. I'm very impressed. You seem to know
You-
your way around these times. I guess you got Nyx.
Can you
Can
just
you?
confirm it as the right plant?
Yes, that looks like Silent Root.
Can
So,
you pop us back?
hang on just a sec.
Hang on.
So I'm back. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, I can pop you back, but I'm more confused as to why we both got letters.
Feel like we've been lured here for a reason.
Well, you were sending future you, well, probably future you were sending letters to Gideon.
Wait, hold on. We were being chased, were we not, beforehand by Naruzata? Presumably Naruzata still wants what we have, so it stands to reason that he would want us to return to normal time with it.
I mean, yeah, but no matter what time, no matter when we pop back, we're going to be popping back when we left, right?
Not necessarily. I do not know how that works, but the point is that somebody else wants us back right now. And if it is not us, I cannot think of who else it would be.
Cadell says, let's just be careful, first of all. If we do get sent back, Gideon was pretty clear that it will send us back to where we left off.
So we do not want to go back there, because we will die immediately.
Well,
How long?
well, then what do we do?
I have a plan. Maybe I could start casting teleport like 9.5 minutes before we leave, and once we get back, we can just teleport straight away.
Where would we teleport to?
I don't know.
That could work.
I guess we would just have to teleport like to the bag of holding.
Or just like 50 miles south. A
Well,
mile south.
Well, I don't know where the tower is, so I can't just. I have to know where the place.
Right.
So
have a
you could
map?
Well, then we'd still be in Orthaid, wouldn't we? But I can, if with a bag of holding, I could get us anywhere.
Okay.
You still
Well, I
haven't
can teleport us
Wait,
back to the bag of holding, and then we could go in there.
Wait, we were in Orphade?
Yes. Ah, I thought I made that clear.
Where in Orphade?
Well, Gideon's Tower is in Orestas. It's a city on the south. Tassat. But that's beside the point, huh? We're about to get killed by Neruzita's minions.
So teleports. Teleports, teleports, teleports.
You have any
That's,
idea how quick that that stone gets us back?
I assume it will be the same as last time, I hope. It shouldn't be long, a second or two.
Seems like this teleport idea is pretty feasible then.
You'll have to make sure that you don't drop your focus, Hanera. Like,
Yeah.
the act of teleporting will be difficult to keep the spell up, but it will be doable, I'm sure.
Cool.
But, what? I don't even know what time we're in at the moment. I'm having trouble working out where we are.
Where did you appear?
Oh, it's embarrassing. I appeared in someone's house. I had to pay for all their furniture.
It's what?
Wait, you had money?
I just conjured some.
Wait, what? You can do that?
It's fake. It's fake. It'll disappear soon.
What does it look
Oh
like?
my god.
What does the money look like? They say credits?
Yes. The way I do it is I conjure it from their brain. So I create something that they think is money. I don't know what it looks like either.
That seems like a good trick.
Yeah.
Yes. And then yeah, I had to run away from them after they realized. And anyway, it's a big thing. I'm here now. So you didn't send me this letter. I didn't send you that letter. So we have a mysterious benefactor trying to combine our intellects.
Can I see the handwriting?
Mhm.
Does it look like one of ours?
Yeah, it looks like your handwriting.
Okay, my handwriting.
Yeah.
If I pass it to Calcifer, whose handwriting does it look like to Calcifer?
It looks like Hanera's handwriting.
Okay. Okay, so I wrote this, but I don't remember.
Maybe you haven't done it yet.
Yeah, should I do it now?
Maybe we come back here? If I look around, am I going to see Hanera crouching behind some pillar somewhere? Can I just start
Hiding
looking
behind
around?
some
Well, that's the thing. If you go back in the future, back to send that message again, you're going to know when you're going to look for you. So you're going to be pretty good at hiding.
Cadell, which house did you land in? Do you know where? Just be as clear as you can to Hanera, please. I don't want any silliness.
Yes, he sort of explains. He sort of points to a map. There's no.
Okay. Did you hear that, Hanera?
Yeah.
There we go. Good news.
And where did you get?
Just like on the street.
It was like a manhole cover near the palace that we got our letter.
Okay.
Who wrote the one from? Wait, were they both written in Hanera's handwriting?
No, this one looks like my handwriting.
The one that you got is in your handwriting.
Mm.
Okay.
No, the one that you got is in my handwriting. Not the one I got is in Hanera's.
Okay, the one you got is in Hanera's handwriting. Okay.
Right.
Right.
So either someone else is good at forging, or we're going to find ourselves back here again.
Yeah.
So what's the plan? Are we going to try and escape then?
Well, I don't really want to witness the end of the city right now. So I against leaving.
So we go and Hamera teleports.
That is correct.
I mean, we could wait until the city comes under attack, go snatch some of those books, and then zip out.
No, I think that's a bad idea.
That's
We
a
could.
very bad idea.
But we could do a lot of good with that knowledge.
Yeah,
And
well,
I've
why
got
don't you
some
just write it?
sketches,
Yeah.
Wait, the
Why do
city's
you-
going to come under attack?
Why don't you just write it down?
Well, we did for a bit.
I got some notes, but yeah.
The longer we spend here, the more risk to the time stream. We should just go.
All right. But if I can't make the floaties with these notes, I'm blaming you.
Then we can come back.
I mean, apparently we do. So
Well, Henera does
Well-
and Gadel does.
Yeah. The cool ones. Ha.
If
Wait.
anybody out there, Kokaskis is has come as well, give a sign. Kind of looks around.
if
I
there's
wonder
a,
where we
if
come
there's
back.
a if there's a
I guess
future
not.
if there's a future me that's listening in, and the future me has already found that shield, and you could just hand it over to me now, that would save me a lot of effort. Oh shit, no, that'll break the time. No, actually don't. That might kill us all.
Okay.
Let's just think about getting out of here then. If you are ready to do the teleport, Hanera?
Yeah, should we maybe go somewhere a bit more? Wait, what do you mean? I thought we were here for a week.
Well, I can pull us back anytime.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe we should like walk out of the town a bit. What do we do with these flowers?
Stick me near. I'll open the bag folding.
No, no, no. How do we make the antitoxin?
Cadell says we can do that when we get back.
I know, but I would like to know how before we get back, in case I lose you again.
We got to distill the leaves, create a sort of rudimentary poison from the leaves.
Okay.
And then we just got to get the mulch out of it and turn it into ash. Burn it, and then combine the two, the juice and the ash.
Okay. Cool.
And that's just how
Right.
you do it.
Great.
Where
Let's go.
are you going to teleport us to?
Well, I thought we were going to teleport you to. Wait, hold on. I
Slight.
thought I'm confused. So maybe if we clarify the plan, you're gonna take us back once I've almost finished casting the teleportation spell, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to teleport us to the other room where the bag of holding is, so we could all get in the bag of holding. But if you give me a more of an idea of where the location of this tower is and tell me the name of a city or a settlement nearby, we can go there. But I just have to know about it.
Just a thought, an error. How
Yeah.
many people can you take with teleport?
10, I think. Just
Are
check.
you sure?
You went up to 4 targets.
Well, we're leaving Henera and Gadel. No, we're not. Actually,
Wait, it's
Yeah.
only 4 targets.
You end up to 4 targets.
Well-
That
Can't
really
Cadell
limits.
Can't Cadell teleport himself?
What do you think? I'm some sort of magic fucking bean?
I mean, yeah, you have
With
like,
sarcasm like that, you can stay.
yeah, I mean,
I
you have
have-
cast spells and stuff
do
before,
think
right?
that.
Actually, I mean,
I might be able to try and work out something, but
Why don't I teleport us and then Cadell we can do the flute and which will summon Cadell.
not to
That
a
doesn't
different
come in
slow
with Gadel.
process.
Like a genie. Little genie.
I'm gonna
Um,
steal that flute.
actually-
Give me that flute.
Wait,
I
Give me
do
that
have an
flute,
idea.
Cadell.
I do have an idea. We are in a time period where you are able to trap people into elder boxes, yes? And put people into weapons.
hmm.
Can we put Cadell back into a weapon?
Wait, back into it.
Back, I've
That's
never
right,
been
not
a
back
weapon.
into a weapon. And just somebody into a weapon.
No, I am no. I'm not going to agree to that.
Okay, I have another
I'll
plan.
go into a weapon.
I have another plan. I have a scroll of gaseous form. You could take that and then gaseous form your way to the Berg of Holding.
That could work.
How far is the? It's quite a distance, isn't it?
So you're pretty
And the
skinny,
Well,
right?
lots of-
You can-
There's quite a lot of monsters in
Well,
the
no.
way.
Well, no. We've got a bag of holding. You just get in there.
Why don't we all just get to the bag of holding now and then fucking teleport us?
Does that
I don't know if it works.
will that work?
Maybe.
Can you tell it?
I think we're going to find out.
I think if you could teleport through time
You would
and
lose the
through
bag of holding.
holding, I would lose the bag of holding. Would you lose
No, no.
everything else in the bag of holding?
Well, like if we were to, so the way I got you into Gideon's tower is I have an ability to go through bags of holding to teleport.
Yeah.
So different.
But if you use your bag of holding, then yes, you'll lose everything inside it. But I could use mine.
Well,
I was thinking.
why didn't you just say that in the first place?
I didn't. No, my one is still at mine.
But we have a bag of holding on us. In fact, I think I've got two.
Yeah.
So what
Oh,
if
you've got
you?
two?
I think so. Yeah.
So
what if you just get in there, and then maybe we borrow, or one of us gets in there. We zip back with the time stone, then Anera teleports us out, and then she only has to bring 4 of us.
Yeah, I understand, but I also feel like that is something that would not be allowed with the teleport spell.
You just have like a whole civilized city's worth of people in a bag of holding. To teleport, surprise, Trojan
You can
horse.
save everyone. Everyone gets saved.
Yeah,
You need a
everyone in
lot of-
this
Just
city
press-
get
you
in
need
the
a lot
bag.
of bags
We're
of
taking you to the
holding.
future.
I'll just press cast and we can see. I can read the spell. Is
Yeah,
it 10 in D&D?
what?
Can you
it
transport
might
10
be more.
people in D&D?
Oh, I don't know.
No, that's fine. I was just thinking that might be where I was getting confused.
It's 8 willing creatures in D&D.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's where I'm getting numbers confused.
Yeah, I mean, surely like Hank gets teleported, so why wouldn't someone in a bag of holding?
And Nyx and Vance.
And Nyx and Vance. Yeah, I don't see an issue with just stuffing you in a bag of holding and then.
It would be
Don't
like
know.
transport, because you're not transporting a person with that. You're transporting the bag. The person's in a separate pocket, I mentioned.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just
okay.
like a link to it, isn't it?
Alright, we'll do it then.
It's confusing, but yeah, I think that would work.
All right, can you fit, or do we need to gas you?
Please can you tell me the name of a town or something that's close to the tower? Just has to be a place.
Aristas.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. Well, I
Did-
hope you don't fuck this up, Panera.
You said you could draw pretty well, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure.
Why don't you draw a little, maybe draw a little landscape of Oristas, give a bit of a better picture of where
Yeah.
this teleport's going.
Okay. He draws out a sort of rough sketch of Gideon's tower in relation with Oristas. Okay. He says, so I'm the only one getting into the bag of holding.
Yes?
Yeah, though I suppose we'll need the time stone then, unless someone else wants to get in there.
I do not mind getting in. Uncle Gaskis will deal with this problem. Where am I going in?
In there, then I guess. He points to one of Calcifer's bag of holding.
Yeah,
Okay.
just needs to be able to fit through the opening of the sack to be stored inside.
Should
But
we
it
go
doesn't say
around like a
exactly how wide it
corner
is.
or something? Like
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
dingy alleyway?
That's fair.
You're just doing this in the middle of the station.
Yeah.
He's getting back on.
Oh.
Someone's just
It's like a
crawling in.
count.
He just
Random guy crawling into a bag in the middle of.
he's a contortionist.
It's like, I hope
Hey,
you're
to be
not smuggling
fair-
people in
To be
that bag of
fair,
holding.
on the London Underground.
Oh, you
it's
gotta
pretty
pay-
normal size.
You got to pay a separate ticket for them too.
Okay.
Your bag of holding it doesn't fit into our hand luggage sizes.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you climb and you manage to squeeze in, and hold your breath. That being said, it takes 10 minutes for Hanera to cast this.
Yeah,
so
maybe
spell.
maybe get in like
Yeah, like I'll have
5
you like
minutes
if you
in.
open the bag, you just see
Like a
his
minute
mouth.
to spare.
Just
You
keep
just
it
see
Oh
his
open.
mouth.
yeah.
Yeah, you got a little
it's
straw. Yeah, there's just a little straw coming out. Okay, so you begin to cast. Okay, so Hanera, so the time stone thing is gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a skill check.
Okay, which skill?
So I'd say it's an Arcana check,
Okay, that's fine.
just to focus on the spell casting as you're going forward in time as well.
Mhm.
So just so you don't lose focus on it.
Yep.
And the DC is a level 6 spell, right?
Teleport.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that'll be a 28.
Okay, can I use a legend point on this one?
You just rolled before you.
Oh, I thought
said
that was for the
so-
time stone.
Cadel's using the time stone.
No, that's the time zone. Cadel's using the time stone.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
All right, so Hanera starts to cast, and as she's almost finished, Cadell activates the time stone, and you're whisked back. What seems to be to Gideon's library.
I'd like to raise a shield as we're getting ready to go.
Yeah, like time starts flowing forward, and as the circle and all the shelves and books of Gideon's library, as well as the floor, begins to surround you all. And at the last moment, Hanera, you shout out the arcane casting for the teleportation spell. Can everyone make a fortitude saving throw for me, please?
I
So
don't
it's
need to
very-
do one, I assume.
You're in the bag. Yeah, you're okay. Why is Calcifer in this
He's here. Just below Hank, to the left of Panera.
thing?
Oh, is he underneath sign? Oh.
Do I need to make one as well?
Yeah.
Who am I attached to, by the way?
mean,
Calcifer. probably.
Calcifer. His bag.
All right. So a bit of arcane turbulence later. And unfortunately, Hanera, that's a fail.
I didn't realize you had to roll for teleport.
Well, it's not, but but because you're doing it as part of this, like trying to get it off at the right time,
Oh, right, okay.
right? So there's a check involved in there. So that is a fail. So I'll say that. Just bear with me a second.
Here come the mobs.
All right. So as Cadell cracks the arcane stone, the teleport does go off, so it's not a critical fail. So you are flung distance away. Can everyone roll a d20?
Including me?
Yeah.
Blind.
Yeah, make it blind. Thank you.
We're all rolling a d20, did you say?
Yes, please.
How do we roll it blind just
Oh,
as a
there's a-
d20 then?
There's
The
a
little
drop
thing
down.
above the box.
Alright, okay.
Just type in /r 1d20 and then just blind. General. All right. So as you appear in Gideon's library, all of a sudden Hanera shouts out, and you vanish from your arrival location. So Calcifer, you take 25 bludgeoning damage for that fortitude saving throw.
Okay.
Hanera, and Cyan, you take nothing.
Maybe we should.
Did I get one for you, Cascus?
I sent one as a blind. Matt privately rolled some dice.
No, the fortitude saving throw before that. Sorry.
I think you
Oh,
said
no,
that he
sorry.
was in the bag, so he wouldn't have to
He's
make
in-
one.
Oh, you're in the bag, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So, yeah, you all arrive. A flash of arcane energy, the dome appears around you, and then it just vanishes as you all dunk yourselves into the ocean. It's about 10 miles below, but yeah, you're sort of all floating in the ocean one by one.
So is it
nearby?
Or a VC?
Yeah, like south of Orestes.
Sorry, Orestes, not or a VC.
World map.
World map's not. Oh yeah.
So Orestes is here, if you remember.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'll
So-
go floating.
So
Okay.
so it's a calm sea. You see a few ships in the horizon, like some fishing vessels. And the bag of holding sort of is inflated with all the air inside, so you're like holding onto that calcifer. The rest of you are just sort of bobbing in the ocean. As Cadell appears, splashes into the water. Oh no!
Am I in just like the bag on thingies underwater? Or am I?
Yeah, water's kind of starting to leak into the bag a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna like
Just-
shut it tight and then.
I
hold
would
on.
like to take 1 minute to cast water breathing on everyone, but not Cadell because it's only 5 people.
Are we more than a minute away from shore?
I thought we were 10 miles away from shore.
Yeah, you're like, well, you're
Oh, well.
probably about like the shore's just on the horizon.
Hmm.
So maybe it's like 8 miles or so. But there are a number of ships nearby you could probably flag down.
It's a bad time to mention that I'm not the strongest of swimmers.
Aren't you like
I'm
a
just
sailor?
gonna try and wave at one of the ships nearby that, like, oi! Oi, we need help!
The after about 20 or so minutes of just harmlessly bobbing at sea, luckily it's a very, very, very mild day. There's no waves at all. A ship in the distance begins to careen around and head towards your position.
Right, what's our story for this?
Arcane mishap.
Yeah,
I'll-
Ship
fair.
sank.
A huge, a kind of huge, sort of kind of fishing sloop, I guess. Like what, single-masted, maybe like no more than 10 crew. A couple of large nets on the side of it that's just trawling as much fish as they can get. Turns up with a kind of like middle-aged crew, maybe like right in the midst of their career, like a lot of fishermen who are just bearded and grizzly, just looking over at you and said, "How the hell do you get out there? What are you doing?
arcane
Float with it.
mishap.
Arcane mishap.
Oh, you must be from the Arcanum. Oh, well, we get you a lot occasionally." Throws down some nets for you to grab on.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Good thing we spotted you. And he pulls you to shore. You've
Yeah, it
been floating here for years.
Yeah, it was going to be a bit of a swim.
It'll be all right. It'll toughen you up. Yeah,
Yeah.
you all look fresh faced and busy. What kind of? You're not all from the Arcanum, are you?
Just that one there. We're kind of hired help.
Are you pointing to Hanera?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, get yourselves dried off. We're heading to shore now.
Lovely.
Cadell gets on board and says, I hate getting wet.
Is that because of no? I'm gonna say it.
Because of what? Because of what, huh? Because I'm a cat?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought you people were so much more advanced.
What do you
is
mean, you people?
Is it because of that though?
It is a bit because of that.
Yeah.
I don't like it when you make it obvious.
I would like to retrieve the fine spyglass out of the bag of holding, and I guess keep the bag of holding. I was let Cascus out as well.
There you go.
And
yeah, Cascus, you get out.
And yeah, like just like pop out the spyglass and try and have a look at the wizard's tower to see what's going on there.
Yeah. So looking out in the distance as you start to come towards the city of Orostas, it's a city that's grown from obviously over the last 40 years. The tower that was once Aaron Kessera's tower is now owned by Gideon. And there seems to be this black arcane just void around it almost, with like kind of like green arcane energy crackling, like almost like a shield around the entire tower that's almost keeping this this powerful necromantic energy inside. It's sort of whirling around the tower itself, as you begin to approach the coastline. You see a lot of people quite worried about what that looks like.
Like a tempest.
Yeah, like a very angry whirling tempest of necromantic rage
Oh no.
surrounding the tower.
Could we? Sorry, you go ahead.
Anyone got any way of contacting Gideon? Might still be in there.
I don't think so.
All of a sudden, vroom, the all the dark power has gone, and there's just a kind of like arcane blue, like a blue mesh around the tower where the force field is, where nothing can go in and out.
Does that seem like something that would be on the tower normally, or?
Well, Gideon said that he had like blocked the tower off.
Right.
So maybe. There's not many magical towers that do have something like that though.
Is the green stuff still within the force field?
No, it's gone. It's gone now.
Okay.
It's all vanished.
I'll ask Cadell, I guess. Is that normal? Is that back to normal?
I guess so. But good luck us getting in there.
Right, anywhere to knock? I mean, we've got a bag of holding if you want to slip back in.
What did you do with the? You said that you had a book, right? That's what lets that creature in.
Yeah, Veruzatar's grimoire.
The Book of Nox?
A book of Null.
No, not sorry.
Where did you get that? I didn't know you had that.
I just found it on a boat.
Right. Well, if it is Neruzatar's, unfortunately, I think he now possesses that book again. I don't think you have it anymore, do you?
It's still in my inventory.
As you look for it, you realise that no, you had actually left it. You did
Oh.
actually leave it in the tower.
Like this idea there's like a on the inside of your bag, there's like a list of things
Delete.
in there.
Wait, so we took the book of Null out?
It
I
kind
don't
of,
remember us taking it
It like
out.
No, it-
came out of my bag, right?
yeah, it came out the bag, and then everything just went to shit.
I see.
It would have been very difficult to try and like close the book and like put it back in the bag and stuff. Anyway, even if you had tried, but it stayed there.
Cool.
Mm.
Well, do we want to go back there, or should we head back home?
We cannot let the time stone get in the hands of Naruza, Cadell says. It's best that we go back. The ship begins to arrive on the shores of RSS, where a larger number of fishermen start to come in for the night. On the calm bay, you see the large peaks of the Grey Mountains just north of you. The land of the orcs, as many
Does
people.
the city look different? I mean, like this is like out of game.
Yeah, well, it
Does
looks a little bit larger. I might get an updated map for you for next week if we're there. But yeah, maybe we should leave off here then for today.
Yeah.
Unless there's
Okay.
like any last bits you want to do.
I mean, Cascas just kind of says we could always go to Taz. I mean, it is far away, but it is not nearly as far away as getting back to Orthed, unless somebody knows a really back to Adana, unless somebody knows a really quick way there.
Cadell says if you don't want to lose any bags of holding, I know someone who might be able to fly us back.
How long will that
Ooh.
take?
How are we flying back?
A month or so.
Sorry,
A month for flying.
are they going to give us wings, or is it on the Kirax?
On a airship.
What?
But I can teleport us back at any moment, by the way.
What do you
so-
mean on an air? I want to go on the airship.
There are
No, that
airships
takes an
here.
entire month. You'll be dead
No.
by the time we get back.
Wait, why would I be dead?
Poison.
Can't we just do that now?
Also, we've got things we need to do.
But what about the airship?
The airship does sound kind of cool.
Alright, but we promised me we'll come back and have another go on the airship. Is that
We can
possible?
come.
I mean, I think
It's-
having maybe trying to work out how some airships work might be quite good information
You're-
to bring back to.
You're from Orthed, right,
No,
Casper? No.
I'm from Eshmelin.
Wait.
We don't have. There's no airships in Eshmelin, right? Is that just
Not
an Orthed
really.
thing?
It's kind of it's a very
Alpha?
new technology.
Not Casper. Cascas, are you from Orthed?
I am from Taz. I've been on airships in my time.
You've been on airships? What the hell? This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
I mean, I'm from
Nobody else.
Orthed and I've never seen this airship.
What? Where are you? Where are you from in Orthed?
Port Dalron.
Yeah, I thought that was where you're from.
Have you been living under a rock?
Dalrock.
To an extent, I suppose.
He was living under the sea for a while.
Yeah,
That-
that
that-
rock, the
that's not
headstone.
funny.
Lol.
That's not funny.
Oof.
Yeah, there's like a sort of mountain airship express route that goes from Orovisi to Lavar, so it like flies between them. But it's very expensive, and
Yeah.
there's only like 2 or 3 ships in the entire fleet.
Well, I mean, we can probably afford it.
We could probably
We have to go
also. We could also just use the bag of holding.
Yeah, why don't we just go to Orovisi, not Orovisi, the other one, Orostas, and buy another bag of holding, and then we don't have to worry about losing R2.
Yeah. In fact, if this is going to be our primary method of teleportation, How many bags of holding can we afford? Quite a lot. How many do they have?
Hey, listen, I didn't really want us to go on this big adventure. I just wanted to get Hanera sorted. But it seems that, yes, once we're back, we'll be able to get Hanera right as rain. And you can be on your way.
Well, I hope so, and I hope we haven't inadvertently changed time so that when we go back, there are not flying cities everywhere. I'd like to profit on that a little bit first.
Yeah, these airships were here before we left, right? No. This isn't like something we've...
What
No,
if
yeah,
like the whole like idea of like airships, like yeah, we've been doing it this entire campaign, but what if it did change
Who knows?
theoretically?
The big plot.
Yeah.
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 So you accidentally dropped one of those sketches of the book just out of the time bubble as you were going forward back in time, and some like peasant found it, and they just like invented all this stuff based on what you just found. Like,
oh my god. This,
Oh
right.
my-
All right, let's leave off there for tonight. Thanks for playing.
Alright.
Thanks for running.
Yeah, confusing time stuff. It's fun.
Time stuff's always confusing.
All right.
We'll get there. We'll get
See
there.
you next week. You.